For years, whispers, gossip, and countless rumors have swirled around the names of Outlander stars Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe. From the earliest days of the show's success, their undeniable on-screen chemistry sparked endless speculation about whether their deep connection extended off-screen. Despite repeated denials, fans and tabloids continued to feed the narrative, spinning theories, creating stories, and often blurring the line between fiction and reality. Now, at long last, Sam Heughan has stepped forward with a bombshell statement that officially closes the book on years of speculation, and his words have left fans both stunned and emotional. The statement, which Sam shared publicly in a heartfelt and carefully worded message, left no room for misinterpretation. There has been so much talk, for so many years, about Caitriona and myself. I respect her deeply. She is my co-star, my confidant, my friend, and nothing more. The rumors have caused confusion, heartache, and unfair pressure. It's time to put them to rest once and for all. His words struck like lightning, not because they were cruel or cold, but because of their finality. For nearly a decade, a vocal corner of the Outlander fandom has clung to the hope that their beloved Jamie and Claire Fraser were secretly in love in real life. Fan forums and social media accounts dedicated to Sam-Cait theories have thrived on dissecting every glance, every photo, every public appearance, insisting there must be more. Sam's statement, however, served as an undeniable line in the sand. The speculation is over. For Caitriona Balfe, who has often borne the brunt of invasive rumors, Sam's public stance feels like long overdue support. Married since 2019 to music producer Tony McGill, Caitriona has repeatedly spoken about how damaging and unfair the relentless speculation has been. She once described how disrespectful it felt to have her marriage questioned, her family life dissected, and her private happiness overshadowed by gossip. By finally addressing the matter head-on, Sam not only defended himself, but also extended a shield of protection toward Caitriona, reminding the world that their friendship and working partnership deserve respect. The timing of Sam's statement has also sparked discussion. With Outlander approaching its final season and both Sam and Caitriona preparing to move forward into new projects, the burden of these rumors may have weighed heavier than ever. Industry insiders believe Sam wanted to leave no ambiguity as he prepares for the next phase of his career. He's stepping into major Hollywood roles, producing and even continuing his entrepreneurial ventures, one insider noted. He doesn't want his personal narrative tied to fan fiction anymore. He's ready to move on, and he's helping Caitriona move on too. Fans' reactions have been mixed, though overwhelmingly emotional. Many expressed heartbreak at the finality of the statement, admitting that while they always suspected the rumors weren't true, part of them still held on to the fantasy. Others applauded Sam for his honesty, recognizing the courage it takes to confront such a deeply ingrained narrative in such a public way. Across social media, the conversation has been intense, with hashtags like "Thank you, Sam" and "Respect Caitriona" trending within hours of his words being released. What stands out most in Sam's statement is not what he denied, but what he affirmed. He didn't diminish the bond he shares with Caitriona. Instead, he emphasized its importance in his life. We've been through so much together. The laughter, the tears, the endless days on set. Caitriona has been my partner in all of it. That bond will always be one of the greatest gifts of my career. But it's not romance. It never was. Those words reveal a truth that many fans often overlook. The extraordinary closeness of friendship can be as profound as any love story. For Sam and Caitriona, their friendship has not only fueled the magic of Outlander, but also sustained them through grueling schedules, long filming seasons, and the pressures of worldwide fame. It is, in many ways, a love story of its own kind, one rooted in loyalty, trust, and mutual respect. Still, the fallout of Sam's declaration is likely to linger. Some fans who built communities around the idea of Sam-Cait may feel disillusioned, even betrayed. Others may continue to cling to theories, refusing to accept his words as the final truth. Yet what cannot be denied is the firmness with which Sam has spoken. In his typical fashion, he delivered his message not with anger, but with grace, reminding fans that speculation has consequences and that respecting boundaries is an act of kindness. For Caitriona, the relief may be immeasurable. In recent years, she has become increasingly private, guarding her family life fiercely. While she has expressed gratitude for the passionate fan base that has supported Outlander, she has also urged fans to separate fiction from reality. With Sam's new statement backing her, she may finally feel free to step into the next chapter of her life without the cloud of constant rumors. As the dust settles, one truth shines through. The story of Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe is not of secret romance, but of extraordinary collaboration. Together, they built a television legacy that will be remembered for generations. They brought Jamie and Claire to life in a way that transcended the screen, making viewers believe in a love that defied time itself. That achievement doesn't need real-life romance to validate it. It stands on its own, as a testament to their talent and their partnership. Sam's bombshell statement may have closed the door on speculation, but it also opened the door to something far more important: clarity, respect, and truth. And while fans may mourn the loss of their favorite fantasy, they can also celebrate the very real, very human bond that made Outlander what it is. In the end, that's not a loss at all. It's a legacy.
When two high-profile celebrities step into the public eye together, particularly when they both carry with them an undeniable aura of charm and charisma, speculation often follows. Such was the case when Scottish actor Sam Heughan and English actress and model Elizabeth Hurley were spotted cozying up after a recent BBC appearance. The images and whispers that circulated online almost instantly sent fans and media outlets into overdrive, with many suggesting that there could be far more than friendship between the two. In the fast-moving world of entertainment, where speculation can often blur into headline news, the potential pairing of Heughan and Hurley has become a story that combines glamour, curiosity, and no small amount of intrigue. The initial sighting occurred after both stars appeared separately on BBC programming, but it was what happened afterwards that drew the most attention. Cameras caught the duo sharing what onlookers described as an unusually warm moment outside the studio, with Heughan leaning in closely as Hurley appeared both amused and comfortable in his company. Their body language, which seemed natural and affectionate, instantly sparked rumors that the Outlander heartthrob and the long-admired star of Austin Powers, international man of mystery, might be forming a connection that extends beyond professional circles. In the days that followed, online chatter intensified, with fans of both stars dissecting every frame of available footage and every photograph that surfaced. The internet became a hub of speculation, with hashtags linking their names trending on social media platforms. Sam Heughan, of course, has long held the title of one of the entertainment industry's most eligible bachelors. Known to millions as Jamie Fraser from the global phenomenon Outlander, Heughan has consistently avoided publicly confirming any long-term relationships, which has only served to heighten interest in his personal life. His striking good looks, combined with a reputation for being private, have made him a figure of fascination, not only among fans but also within the wider celebrity press. The idea that he might finally be romantically linked with someone, and particularly someone as iconic as Elizabeth Hurley, has given this story additional weight. Hurley, meanwhile, remains one of the UK's most glamorous figures. With a career spanning decades, she has reinvented herself multiple times, from international modeling sensation to rom-com darling to television regular. She has also been the subject of public intrigue in her own right, having previously been linked with some of the most recognizable men in entertainment, including Hugh Grant and Shane Warne. Her ability to maintain poise, elegance, and charm well into her 50s has ensured that she continues to draw the gaze of fans and media alike. To see her linked with Heughan, who is nearly 2 decades younger but undeniably her equal in terms of charisma and star power, has presented an irresistible narrative. Pairing is also notable because it crosses generational boundaries in a way that resonates with audiences. Heughan's fanbase is global, diverse, and often drawn from viewers who have followed Outlander from its very beginning. Hurley, by contrast, has long held appeal for an audience that remembers her rise in the 1990s as well as her enduring presence in British and Hollywood cinema. Together, they represent two eras of glamour merging into one compelling image. The sight of them together outside the BBC provided the kind of spark that gossip magazines thrive on, and fans of both stars have been equally captivated. As speculation mounted, entertainment insiders began offering their takes. Some suggested that Heughan and Hurley might have been introduced through mutual contacts in the industry, noting that both are fixtures at high-profile charity events and red carpet gatherings. Others hinted that a collaboration might be in the works, perhaps in film or television, which could explain why they appeared so comfortable in each other's presence. There has been no official confirmation of any such projects, but the possibility adds another layer of intrigue to the narrative. Another angle that has been discussed at length is the timing of their interaction. Heughan is currently in a transitional phase of his career, with Outlander approaching its final season and the actor making increasing inroads into film and producing. Hurley, too, has spoken recently about seeking out projects that inspire her and allow her to work with talented creatives across the industry. Could this be a professional connection blossoming into something more? Or is it a simple case of two charming personalities enjoying each other's company while the cameras happen to be rolling? Social media, however, has not been satisfied with professional explanations. Fans have been quick to label the duo a potential power couple, and their comments have ranged from excited encouragement to cautious skepticism. One fan wrote that seeing Sam Heughan with Elizabeth Hurley felt like a crossover no one expected but everyone now wants, while another suggested that the two were simply having fun, nothing more, nothing less. Still others pointed out that both celebrities have been notoriously private about their personal lives, and that any assumption about romance should be taken with a pinch of salt. Yet the fact remains, fans are watching, and the more they watch, the more the media amplifies the speculation. Of course, public scrutiny of celebrity relationships is nothing new, and both Heughan and Hurley have weathered it before. What makes this situation unique is the sheer amount of charisma and fan loyalty that both bring to the table. For Heughan, whose fanbase often champions his privacy, there is an almost protective attitude toward his potential partners. For Hurley, who has navigated the world of celebrity romance for decades, there is a seasoned approach to dealing with speculation. Together, they create a story that is not only compelling but also layered with the weight of their respective histories. The coverage of their post-BBC encounter has also reignited discussions about age and celebrity relationships. Hurley, at 60, has often been praised for her timeless beauty and youthful energy, while Heughan, at 45, embodies the kind of modern leading man appeal that Hollywood continues to celebrate. Their age difference has not been lost on fans or media outlets, but rather than being criticized, it has largely been embraced as an example of how connections are less about numbers and more about chemistry. In an industry often accused of double standards when it comes to age and romance, the idea of Heughan and Hurley being linked has been viewed as refreshing by many. Beyond the headlines, however, lies the question of reality. Are they genuinely embarking on a romantic journey together, or has the media machine simply latched onto a fleeting moment of warmth? Those who witnessed the interaction firsthand described it as undeniably affectionate, yet no concrete evidence has emerged to confirm a relationship. Representatives for both stars have remained silent, neither denying nor confirming the rumors, which has only allowed the speculation to flourish further. Meanwhile, industry observers point out that whether or not Heughan and Hurley are romantically linked, the publicity itself serves both stars well. For Heughan, it keeps him firmly in the public eye during a critical career transition. For Hurley, it reinforces her enduring relevance and her ability to command headlines with ease. In the world of celebrity branding, even unconfirmed rumors can generate valuable attention, and this particular pairing has generated more buzz than most. As days have turned into weeks since the initial sighting, the speculation shows no signs of slowing down. Each new public appearance by either star is scrutinized for potential clues. Did Heughan drop hints in a recent interview when he mentioned enjoying London more than ever? Did Hurley's cryptic Instagram post about unexpected adventures reference her time with the Scottish actor? Every gesture, every word, every social media update is parsed and analyzed, feeding the story and ensuring its place in the celebrity news cycle. It is worth noting, too, how the fan communities for both stars have reacted not only with intrigue but with creativity. Fan art depicting Heughan and Hurley as a couple has surfaced online, as have fanfiction stories imagining their romance. This level of engagement underscores just how much of an impact the pairing has had, regardless of its veracity. The collective imagination of fans has taken hold, transforming a few candid photographs into a sprawling narrative of possibility. Ultimately, whether Sam Heughan and Elizabeth Hurley are indeed embarking on a new romance remains a mystery. Yet, the fact that such a story has captivated the public so completely speaks to the enduring power of celebrity culture. In an age where countless stories compete for attention, the sight of two glamorous, charming, and successful individuals enjoying each other's company can still capture the imagination in ways that transcend gossip. Their moment outside the BBC might have been fleeting, but its impact continues to ripple outward, fueling conversations, headlines, and a shared sense of fascination that shows no sign of waning. The future of this story is uncertain, but what is certain is that Sam Heughan and Elizabeth Hurley have, intentionally or not, sparked one of the most captivating celebrity conversations of the year. Whether it leads to a confirmed romance, a professional collaboration, or simply remains a fondly remembered moment of speculation, their interaction has once again reminded audiences why the world remains endlessly fascinated by the lives of stars. In a culture that thrives on narrative, theirs is a story that feels timeless, glamorous, and perfectly suited to capture the imagination. For more than a decade, Sam Heughan has lived inside the heart and soul of Jamie Fraser, the dashing Highland warrior whose love story with Claire in Outlander has captured audiences across the globe. The series, adapted from Diana Gabaldon's beloved novels, became a phenomenon not only because of its sweeping historical romance but because Heughan brought Fraser to life with a presence that has felt both timeless and tangible. Fans have followed Jamie through battles, heartbreaks, and moments of intimacy that feel deeply personal. But now, with the announcement and development of Outlander's prequel series, Blood of My Blood, the world is turning its attention to the origins of Jamie's parents and the early events that shaped the Fraser lineage. While excitement for the prequel is at an all-time high, Heughan himself has already noted a particular flaw in Jamie Fraser's appearance within the prequel's framework, and his remarks have set off waves of discussion across fan circles and entertainment media alike. The revelation came during a promotional interview in which Heughan, always articulate and reflective when discussing the Outlander universe, was asked about Blood of My Blood. Prequel promises to follow the parallel love stories of Jamie's parents, Ellen Mackenzie and Brian Fraser, as well as Claire's parents, Julia Morriston and Henry Beecham. For longtime fans, the series represents a chance to step back even further in time and witness the foundations of two families whose fates would eventually intertwine. Yet Heughan's perspective revealed a subtle but important tension that emerges when a character as iconic as Jamie Fraser is referenced or depicted outside the timeline that audiences have come to know so well. Heughan pointed out that while the prequel is conceptually exciting, there is a flaw in the way Jamie Fraser's presence might be felt or referenced within Blood of My Blood. He reminded fans that the timeline of the prequel is set long before Jamie was even born, and thus any appearance of Jamie, whether visual or symbolic, risks breaking the continuity that both Gabaldon and the television series have so carefully maintained. He emphasized that Jamie's story begins in earnest within Outlander itself, and to see him too directly acknowledged in the prequel could risk confusing the chronology. In essence, his concern is that by trying to tie the prequel too tightly to Jaime, the creators might inadvertently undermine the sense of immersion that has defined the franchise's success. This observation struck a chord with audiences. The flaw he identified was not necessarily a direct criticism of the production team but rather an actor's insight into the integrity of the storytelling. Heughan explained that part of what makes Jaime Fraser so beloved is that his journey feels authentic, layered, and organic. Every scar, every choice, and every heartbreak unfolds in a way that audiences can trace back through cause and effect. To insert Jaime into a timeline where he does not yet belong risks diminishing that carefully constructed arc. The actor's comments reflect the depth of his connection to the role. After all, few actors become so synonymous with a character that they actively defend the internal logic of the narrative as if they were its guardian. Heughan's statement therefore carried weight, sparking intense debate among fans. Prequel itself is a fascinating proposition. Blood of My Blood aims to immerse viewers in the Scotland of the early 18th century, a world on the brink of upheaval and rebellion. Brian Fraser, Jaime's father, will be portrayed as a man caught between tradition and change, while Ellen Mackenzie, Jaime's mother, is described as a fiery, independent spirit whose decision to follow her heart set the stage for everything that would follow. The romantic and cultural backdrop is rich with possibilities, but the show's creators also face the challenge of balancing fan expectations with creative originality. By choosing to spotlight the parents of both Jaime and Claire, the writers invite comparisons to the central love story that defined Outlander. Heughan's warning about overemphasizing Jaime's presence in this context seems in many ways to be a reminder to let the prequel stand on its own feet. For viewers, the flaw Heughan pointed out echoes concerns that have arisen in other franchise prequels. Fans of sprawling universes like Star Wars or The Lord of the Rings have often debated whether callbacks, Easter eggs, or cameo appearances strengthen or weaken the storytelling. Too much reliance on familiar figures can feel like pandering, while too little can risk alienating the core audience. In this delicate balance, Heughan's voice stands out because he is not only the face of Jaime Fraser but also someone who deeply respects the world Diana Gabaldon built. His suggestion that Jaime should not overshadow the story of his parents underscores his commitment to narrative consistency. The actor's comments also highlight a fascinating aspect of his career. Heughan has often said that Jaime feels like an old friend, someone he has grown alongside and learned from. To protect that character's legacy even in a project where Jaime is not the central figure speaks volumes about his dedication. Fans responded with a mixture of admiration and relief, praising Heughan for keeping an eye on continuity. On social media platforms, many expressed gratitude that the actor himself was voicing what they had quietly worried about, that the prequel might try to shoehorn in references to Jaime in ways that felt forced. At the same time, there is undeniable excitement about how the prequel might enrich the Outlander universe. By exploring the world of Brian and Ellen, viewers may gain deeper understanding of Jaime's personality traits and values. His bravery, his stubbornness, and his devotion to family are qualities that must have been shaped by his parents. The opportunity to see those influences dramatized is tantalizing, and Heughan's acknowledgement of a potential flaw does not dampen enthusiasm but rather heightens anticipation. Creates a sense of accountability, as if fans can now trust that the actor himself is helping to safeguard the integrity of the franchise. Behind the scenes, the discussion also raises questions about how much input actors like Heughan have in the development of spin-offs. While he is not officially part of Blood of My Blood, his stature within the Outlander family is such that his opinions inevitably carry weight. Producers will undoubtedly be aware of his remarks, and it remains to be seen whether the prequel chooses to subtly acknowledge Jaime in ways that feel organic or to keep the focus firmly on his parents' story. Either way, Heughan's comments have ensured that audiences will be paying close attention. From a broader perspective, the situation illustrates the evolving relationship between actors and the worlds they inhabit. In earlier eras of television, performers often stepped away from roles once a series ended. Today, however, the boundaries between actor, character, and fandom are more fluid. Heughan, through his interviews, conventions, and social media presence, has become more than just the man who plays Jaime Fraser. he has become a steward of the character's legacy. By pointing out flaws, however minor, in how Jaime might be depicted or referenced, he takes on the role of custodian, ensuring that the integrity of the story remains intact. As anticipation builds for Blood of My Blood, Heughan's observation continues to echo across fan forums. Some have speculated that the flaw he highlighted could be as simple as an ill-timed cameo, or as complex as a thematic misstep that risks conflating Jaime's journey with that of his parents. Others argue that even subtle nods, such as narration or flash-forwards, should be handled with extreme care. The overarching sentiment, however, is one of appreciation that Heughan himself is attuned to these issues. What cannot be denied is that Jaime Fraser remains one of the most iconic characters in modern television, and that his portrayal by Sam Heughan has redefined the way audiences view historical romance dramas. Any attempt to expand the Outlander universe must grapple with that reality. The flaw Heughan identified is, at its heart, a reminder that Jaime Fraser is not just another character to be inserted into spin-offs for convenience. He is the beating heart of the original series, and his story deserves to remain coherent and untarnished. In the end, whether Blood of My Blood avoids the pitfalls Heughan has warned about will depend on the choices made by its writers and producers. But one thing is certain: the discussion surrounding Jaime's place in the prequel has added a new dimension to fan anticipation. Far from dampening excitement, it has fueled curiosity, ensuring that when the series finally airs, audiences will be watching closely, not just for the romance of Brian and Ellen, but for any sign of how Jaime Fraser's legacy is treated. And if Sam Heughan's words are any indication, that legacy is in safe hands, guarded not only by the creators but by the actor who has embodied Jaime with such devotion for over a decade.